You might wonder what I'm doing standing here in a V costume in the middle of Portland, Oregon. Well, this is my favourite film, V for Vendetta, and it carries a very, very strong message of fighting for freedom. It's not about Guy Fawkes blowing up Parliament, it's not about stabbing people with knives, it's none of that. What it's about is an idea. As V himself says, ideas are bulletproof. And once you've got the idea of freedom in your heart, you'll never lose it, and they cannot take it away from you. These people here are fighting for this very same idea today. They're having a meeting here. It's about lots of things. It's about impeaching Bush. It's about peace. It's about anti-war. But mostly it's about people fighting for their democracy, fighting for their constitution, getting that back. Exactly the same fight as we're having in our own country, in England, Great Britain, United Kingdom. And this is going on worldwide also, when you look and see what's happening. And today we've got with us a young man, absolutely brilliant, who's doing the same thing. He's fighting really hard. He's giving it all he's got. And we're going to meet him in just a moment. Alex Ansary. Downtown Portland here, we're going to talk to Alex Ansary, and he's one of the biggest fighters for freedom that they have here. He has his own cable show, and he's absolutely brilliant, fighting for freedom like the rest of the people here today. And Alex is going to tell us exactly what this event is all about, what they're doing here, and what we are determined to achieve from it. Over to you, Alex.
Thanks, Fern. Yeah, I'm Alex Ansary, I host a local show called Outside the Box, and what has happened here was organized by worldcan'twait.org. And the event itself was to drive out the fascist Bush regime. Now, since it was organized, the event itself, we had a few developments. A number of bills were passed through Congress, so we're talking about both Democrats and Republicans, that are going, you can put it this way, it's going to change the way America is viewed around the world. It already has changed it, but more particularly, it changes what it really means to be an American. First of all, H.R. 6166. Any similarity to 666? I don't know. However, this has set America back, the United States back, 800 years. Habeas corpus is a thing that gives us the right, that separates us from like the old Soviet Union, that states that we should have charges presented to us if we are to be taken, put into a camp somewhere, put into a jail. It's that you're actually physically charged with something and brought before a court. That is gone now. Also in H.R. 6166 is a little provision there that protects George W. Bush from war crimes, dating all the way back to 2001. But it doesn't end there. It allows, it condones, it permits waterboarding, simulated drowning, and other forms of torture. What is torture, what is not torture, is defined by George W. Bush. Who is and who is not an enemy combatant is defined by George W. Bush. But my message today, and the message a lot of other people have brought here, is that it's not just about George W. Bush. There is a virus that has infested our Congress. Our Congress at this point is bought out and no longer represents the people, the populace of the local communities, of the local cities. But it didn't stop there. All this wiretapping that the media said wasn't really happening, it was just a conspiracy theory, perhaps it was a liberal, it's just going too far. Now they admit, A, it's happening, but B, why it's okay. Because that is now legal. But when people think wiretapping, they think telephones. They think reading your email. When Google admitted just last week that they can record the things heard through a computer, through the microphone within the computer. And that is also part of this legislation. But of course it didn't end there. There's H.R. 5295. That pertains to the public schools. Also overlooked in the media because of course the top story was Foley and they kept it that way for a reason. They knew about Foley beforehand, this guy who was emailing perverse emails to a page. So while that story was brought out, the media has been complicit in reporting what just happened to the Constitution. But on the topic of schools, when H.R. 5295, now in the works, any teacher, any principal can search a student without probable cause if they smell marijuana and strip search them. Strip search a child. My personal message is that 9/11 was an inside job inflicted by criminal elements within the United States government. It's not a popular perspective in the activist movement, but it is becoming a more vocal one, as information that has previously been in the underground moves to the mainstream. No thanks to CNN, no thanks to Fox News, but as a direct result of the grassroots efforts that are happening not only in the United States, but in Britain, the same Britain where they have shouting CCTV cameras. You are being watched by CCTV. I mean, these things are supposed to say in 1984 and Brave New World. They're not actually supposed to be a physical reality. So my message is that we're moving towards world government for a variety of reasons. Most of all, apathy and denial. Conspiracy theory. It's a conspiracy theory. It's not really happening. You're taking it too far. We have not taken it too far. Things are really that messed up. This is about a peaceful revolution of the mind, not a violent one. There is a war on consciousness. And so as we expand and we really learn how the political process works in the United States, I would also suggest that we start investigating who we really are and if there's a part that we play in it. This new legislation, you hear about camps, you hear about fear, what they can do, could do. A lot of it is about fear. They've seen the uprising. They've seen more and more people, black, white, young, old, Asian, black, Chinese, asking more questions about freedom. Because that is the issue in our world, globally, beyond the United States. Freedom. What is freedom? What does it mean to be a human being alive in the year 2006? That's the real issue. So with that, it is a peaceful revolution, not a violent one. And a lot of legislation is about fear. And I think we can move beyond that and see that they are worried, they are concerned that they are going to lose control. And the elite, as they're called, the global elite, are in a panic. So with that, investigate 9/11, investigate torture, investigate the surveillance society control grid that is being built, this grid worldwide. And then maybe, if you're ready to move then, you have a fighting chance. But first, learn the real truth. That's it.
Okay, Alex, before we go, can you just tell us where to catch you on your cable show?
Oh, how to find it?
Yes, please.
You can go to alexansary.com. If you live in Portland, it's on Channel 11, broadcast through cable access. Cable access is under attack from Congress right now as they push new media consolidation through. Network neutrality is at risk as well. So for now, my show can be viewed worldwide over the internet, but you need to let your senators know or your local representatives that you want network neutrality to stay the way it is. You want to have that free flow of information. Because in the meantime, while all these things are going on, they are working very hard to dismantle this flow of information, an anarchy of information, if you will. And we need to hold on to that. That's how we stay connected. That's how we network and get together for events like this.
Okay, thank you very much, Alex. Brilliant. I know you're in a hurry, so we mustn't hold you up.
Any other questions?
Yeah, when are you going to move back to England? We want you in England. We want you to help us over there, please.
I don't know if I'm going to England, but I'm from Portland. This is my city. I've lived here my entire life. I was born in this city. And I'll be honest with you, I don't intend on leaving. I don't intend on moving to Canada, to Mexico, to Venezuela. I'm going to stay here. I'm going to keep using my real name, Alex Ansary, my birth name, and speak from my heart about how I feel about 9/11 and how I feel about the government and how I see this world moving into a centralized form of government where there is no sovereignty. There is only fascism. They cannot kill you all. They cannot put you all in camps. With less than 1% of the nation working for the military, that is a physical impossibility. Yeah, I know there's an attack on the Second Amendment, but they're not going to be able to take everybody's guns. So a lot of this is about fear. And you're hearing a lot of talk about leaving the United States. Leaving. Running away. This is our country. They need to leave. In the Revolutionary War, when we decided to no longer be loyal to the king, do you know who went to Canada? It was the loyalists to the king. That's what really happened.
Thank you very much, Alex. And that's a message for us Brits. That's a message for us Brits also, isn't it? Leaving the country when we need you there to fight for our freedom.